Hey, it's Rob Lightfoot, proud two-time alum of Rowan University.
And I'm Jessica Kennedy, also a two-time Rowan alum. And you're listening to
Beyond the Brown and Gold.
Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM presents Beyond the Brown and Gold, a show that highlights the lives and memories of Glassboro State and Rowan University alumni. Now, here are your hosts, Rob Lightfoot and Jessica Kennedy.
On today's episode of Beyond the Brown and Gold, we have 2004 grad Chrissy Buteas.
You got to be exhausted listening to this, right? Because, I mean, she's doing so much.
Well, they haven't listened yet, but they will be exhausted.
Well, they will be listening to this. When they listen to this, you're going to be tired, so make sure you're sitting down. No, but she's so involved in a bunch of things, currently serving as president and CEO of HINJ, the Healthcare Institute of New Jersey.
She's done all of the things. We're going to go over her entire career path in government and politics and her experiences here at Rowan. But we also delve into, she was on the field hockey team here. So she had an amazing and award-winning student athlete and just a human doing amazing things around the state of New Jersey. Keep your eye out for Chrissy Buteas and learn more about her now. Where are you driving from?
So I'm from Middlesex County.
Okay.
And I'm also have the pleasure of having a home by the shore as well. So
Which shore?
Brick, New Jersey.
Yes, she's one of us.
I used to work out that way.
You're not from there.
No, I was there for doing time. No, just kidding. I used to work out that way. I used to work out that way in Lakewood.
I didn't know that. I grew up in Howell. So,
okay.
Yeah, so Brick, my mom worked in Brick for most of her career. So did you grow up in Brick or Central Jersey?
South Plainfield. So South Plainfield's in Middlesex, North Plainfield is in Somerset, and Plainfield is in Union.
So what had you come to Rowan?
I was really excited about a couple of opportunities at Rowan. So one was I wanted to go into government in some capacity. And at the time, I thought I wanted to be in law enforcement. So probably more towards the FBI, CIA, and decided to major in law and justice and had a great experience across 322 in a different building in the law and justice studies program. And again, I thought it was a great program and highly recommend it. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, and I'm sure we'll get into that. But so one was for my studies, to be in the law and justice program. And then two was because I wanted to play field hockey. And I was a student athlete all of my life. I started playing softball, I think, when I was in third grade, and then played basketball, soccer, and field hockey. But interestingly enough, only started playing field hockey when I was a freshman in high school, and wound up actually pursuing field hockey here in college. I walked on to the program, onto the team my freshman year here, and made the team. The rest is history.
Was it just as a thing to start in high school? Like, was there a friend doing it? Is that what caused you to?
Somebody mentioned, a colleague of mine or a friend mentioned to me, they said, you'd probably be really interested in field hockey. And I knew nothing about it. There was no feeder program at the time, no rec program. And so I tried it out. And I think the only day I was actually in like one of the kilts as a field player was the day of pictures.
Is the kilts like the uniform?
Yes. Okay. And that wasn't for me. And next thing I knew, the coach was saying, we're really looking for goalies. We have some ideas about somebody who might, could possibly fill this role and everything. And I think I raised my hand, or I got volunteered, but I'm pretty sure I raised my hand. And then next thing I know, I was the goalie on the freshman field hockey team, JV team in high school. Had a really fabulous time, enjoyed the sport a lot, and then pursued it in college.
So other than the field hockey draw, you said law and justice.
Yes.
What had Chrissy interested in getting involved in politics and law and justice as a person that's approaching college? What was your exposure? Were you involved in something?
In high school, I had a couple of really interesting teachers in more of the government side of my classes, and I was just really interested in how the government works, the process, democracy. how the United States just functions, even our local governments. And so I said, of all the classes that I'm in, the one that interests me the most is my government class. And so I guess then I should just major in that area.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it happened. I wasn't like somebody who had everything all planned out or anything like that.
And no family members at all in government.
None. But I will say my mom was a Glassboro State College alum.
Oh, okay.
So
Legacy
there was some
family.
connection here to Rowan. And so I said that just makes the most sense. That's the thing I'm most interested in. And I could just see myself, in a uniform doing some super cool work, for the government and going overseas or, working for the FBI and protecting government officials and weeding out crime, and learned a lot in the program and wanted to pursue an internship with the FBI and had applied to other federal agencies, didn't get those internship opportunities. They were very competitive from what I'm told. Again, going back to don't have any family members in government.
Sure.
And interestingly enough, one of my professors in the political science department, because I was a poli-sci minor, and I think the reason I became a poli-sci minor is I noticed that a lot of the courses overlapped, so it just
Made sense.
made sense. Yeah. And they said maybe you should consider pursuing a recommendation letter from a United States senator to really boost up your application if you decide to reapply in the future.
And that's just a thing you can do. You can
I was going to ask, how
senator
does that happen?
So the professor at the time connected me to a Rowan alum in South Jersey, in the South Jersey office, and they did not have any internships available, but said, hey, we have some up in Newark. And I said, well, great. South Plainfield's a lot closer to Newark than it is to Barrington. They interviewed me, said, sure, we have an internship available. Would you be available? And I said, yes, I'm really excited. They said, how often can you work? And I thought that everybody worked 40 hours a week. So I said 40 hours a week.
They were like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
As an intern. You were
as an intern, yeah.
We have a live one here.
Yes. But what was interesting about that was I really got to delve into some of the more meaningful projects and get to know everybody a lot better and had a tremendous experience.
Yeah.
Long story short, that internship with, at the time, U.S. Senator John Corzine, met a lot of great people who I still stay in touch with, some I still work with in many different capacities, and kept coming back on different breaks. I went to other internships, pursued other internships in government and politics throughout my time at Rowan. And then long story short, I was hired by that office prior to my graduation.
Oh, so you already had something ready.
Yes, working the front desk.
Meanwhile, you had been working 40 hours a week.
Yep.
You had a great experience already. Yeah.
And working the front desk. But what I would, and I tell a lot of students, be in the place you want to be where you can grow.
Yeah.
And there was a tremendous amount of growth opportunity. You never know what was going to happen. And at the time I was ready to pursue my master's degree. And so it just worked out because I was going to have an Eagleton Fellowship from Rutgers University. I was going to go to school at Rutgers Newark, and I was working in Newark. So it all was making sense. And then I was there just for a couple of months, and the governor at the time resigned. And so I wound up going right onto a gubernatorial campaign.
So let's talk about the internship experience that you had while you're at Rowan and stuff
Sure.
like that. So let's talk about what was the feedback maybe that you were bringing back from your internship experience to your other classmates or to your class. So you had real world experience at that time that you could bring back to, hey, the professors and the teacher room is in the front of the room. Here's what I'm experiencing and here's where it goes. Talk about sort of that marriage.
I thought it was invaluable. So the curriculum, I think, requires you to do one, right, upon graduation. I did several, and I felt like I had such a leg up because I had the real world experience. You weren't just reading out of the textbook.
And the network.
And so I was already meeting people. I already had a job lined up by the time that I had graduated, and I was able to actually bounce some of these concepts off of people in the real world. And I thought it was probably one of the best things I had ever done. It really did help me. So I try to encourage students, do not wait until you're a senior to start pursuing that experiential learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Start as soon as you can. And you may not like what you're doing. Well, that's just as valuable as if you like what you're doing, because then you can just cross that off your list. I didn't like every internship I had done. I knew that sitting at a desk 24/7 was not going to be for me. Learned that really early on.
Yeah.
Some people, that's like what they like to do. They like to read and write every single day. They that's where they're best. That is not for me. I'm more of a people person. I enjoy speaking and interacting and connecting different individuals together. And some people are not like that. That's not what their forte is. So just studying a law book all day would not have been the right avenue for me. So a lot of times you hear like, oh, I want to go to law school or do this. Like, I encourage you to go do an internship in a law firm
See if you like that.
Yeah, in a state government agency where you're going to be doing some legal research, something like that, where you get that experience first before you go invest 4 years of your life.
That's great advice. When I was a student here at Rowan, the station manager at the time, Frank Hogan, was like, you would be an excellent salesperson, radio sales. You'll make great money. You're friendly. Like, go. I spent a day with a radio salesperson, and at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate it.
At least you found out, though.
Yeah, but I feel like, somebody thinks it's like a good part of your personality, and could I've been successful at it? Maybe. But I think when I lived it for a day, at least at that point in my life, I was like, oh, this is really not for me. Yeah. So talk to us about what it is like as this young person working in government. Is it intimidating? Are people welcoming you into the fray and trying to teach you? I mean, you're this young, really just graduated human that's becoming part of the process. What was that like for you?
I think all of the above. There was so much to learn from. There were so many people who have been around a very long time. I still feel like every day you're trying to meet more people and learn new things. But yeah, definitely when I first started out, just trying to figure out how things work was, how to find your way through the halls of the State House is an accomplishment. It can be a little confusing when you're first in the building, but there were definitely people who are willing to help out. You have to find them, but you also have to ask for meetings and assistance too. I find a lot of times students or those who are starting out are hesitant to reach out, or even if like you're serving at a panel and you offer to advise a student, sometimes the students don't follow up with you. So I always say, if they're offering, you might as well do it. They're saying they're going to give you their time. I would take them up on that. I would take them up on that. I mean, you never know where that's going to lead you. Maybe not right away, but down the road. I can't tell you how invaluable that was to me. And again, I still stay in touch with so many of those people. But there are people in government politics who are willing to just go out for a cup of coffee, talk on the phone confidentially, and you just run a scenario by them, say, like, what are your thoughts on this? Does this sound right? Can I just bounce it off of you? But I think at the end of the day, your word is everything in the business. Mm-hmm. And so I've really tried to make sure that I'm a straight shooter with as many people as I can be.
So as you're out in the field now and you're starting to see, you're sharpening your career on what you wanted it to be and now what it's turning into, where did you see yourself leaning? Because you took a different, as we look at your little bio here. Oh, yeah. You went into a different space more than what you just told us at the start.
So I really enjoyed getting involved in the political side. Sure. Government political side. Yep. They're somewhat together, but not on the law enforcement side. I still think that I would have enjoyed that, to be honest, but I kind of threw myself in on the political and government side. And what was really interesting to me was more of my interest in helping to get young individuals, women elected to office. I had learned early on that women, minorities were very underrepresented in key levels of government, in running nonprofits and running businesses. And that was what also was very intriguing to me, to also pursue that for myself and say, how do you do that? And I remember when I was here on campus, one of the assignments in one of our classes was to attend local council meetings. So I used to attend Glassboro's council meetings, and I said, well, if I do it here, when I go home, I'll just continue that. So I used to go to South Plainfield's council meetings.
You're like, who is this?
There's literally like 5 people in the audience and me. And so that's how I got involved, and had the pleasure of meeting great people and, again, some great mentors, and wound up serving on the parade committee, then onto the Board of Adjustment, to a county committee woman, to running for public office.
So, like, if she's going to be here anyway, let's
just keep
her to work. Now, when you were
no.
when you were attending those council meetings, did you see the obvious, representation missing of women and people of color? Did you witness that firsthand? Was that pretty obvious to you?
It's definitely obvious, and the statistics still bear it out. I am a big supporter of the Center for American Women in Politics at Rutgers, and they issue those statistics every year, and we're doing better than we were, but we're still not where I think one would hope to be. So
right.
There's always room for progress.
And if we're not in the room where it happens, a Hamilton, are you a Hamilton girl? Rob doesn't know Hamilton, but
I know a lot of Hamilton residents.
If we're not in the rooms where these conversations are happening, if women or people of color, how can we effectively impact any change that impacts us? So I think it is important to get in there and to make your way so that you can have a voice for, in your case, women as well.
Yep.
Now, you've had quite a career doing that.
Yeah, but I have to say that, again, it's important for women, but it's also important for young men too. And I'd be remiss. I mean, some of my best friends, best mentors have been men in the field as well. They have been so willing to help out and to lend their advice and guidance. And so I'm very, very appreciative of that.
Absolutely.
So talk to us about the gubernatorial run, and then what's your next step after that?
So I worked on John Corzine's gubernatorial race, and then taking on a role at the Board of Public Utilities for a couple of years, pursued my master's degree, had a fellowship at Rutgers at the same time, which worked out really well, and really enjoyed the fellowship program, which brought me into the Senate Majority Office for a short stint there. So I got some experience in the legislature. And after that concluded, I guess that took about 2 years, I then became a contract lobbyist. And that was super, super interesting. And again, G. Mulroy, Jerry Gibbs gave me a tremendous opportunity to join their firm at the Capital Impact Group. And I really enjoyed working with different clients, so different issues each day. No day was the same. So kind of, again, met what I was interested in, being out and about, meeting new people, working on different initiatives, different problems.
She's chasing the excitement, Jen.
Yes,
You hear this?
yes.
She does not want to be at a desk.
No,
She wants to be out
anything
and
but the
doing
desk,
things.
right? So I got to work with really great organizations, and again, Fortune 500 to like nonprofits, like the Girl Scouts and stuff. And so that was really exciting, and to work with nursing organizations and hospitals
and broadcast.
Right. Everybody in between, and that was really a great opportunity. So I enjoyed lobbying a lot as well, and so worked a little bit on the campaign side, worked a little bit in the executive branch, and then on the other side of the street, right, on the lobbying side.
And now you're with HINJ. And
I'm with HINJ.
Talk to us about HINJ and what it does.
Love HINJ. So it's a healthcare institute in New Jersey. We were formed in the 90s by the CEOs of several of our research-based biopharmaceutical companies. I'm not sure if you're aware, but New Jersey is known as the medicine chest of the world because we have so many of our pharmaceutical companies that have either their global or North American headquarters right here in the state.
Did not know that.
So we should have some great Jersey pride for the industry. And so my job is to really just make sure that our policymakers and stakeholders recognize the significant economic and human health impact that this industry has each and every day, saving patients' lives. And that's a tremendous, tremendous blessing that I have to go out there as well as my team. I have a fabulous team at HINJ. including Steve Eisenman and Lori Rolfe, and a new member of our team who just happens to be a Rowan alum.
There we go.
Yep, I know, Kyle Sullender. I'm so thrilled to have Kyle join us as well. And we really enjoy what we do. And it's, again, our members, including our medical technology companies who are manufacturing anywhere from like a syringe to hips and knees, are out there really improving the lives of not only New Jerseyans, but patients around the world. And that's really exciting.
Were you looking for that healthcare space?
I have worked in the healthcare space before. So I headed up the Home Care and Hospice Association previously for about 5 years. Really enjoyed that as well, working on the provider side. And again, they do God's work. Our home health aides and nurses that are caring for some of our most vulnerable patients in their home, especially towards the end of life. So really, and I still stay in touch with a lot of my former members there. And so going back into healthcare just, feels like I'm back home again. And so it's been a great opportunity. And again, to work at HINJ, which represents some of our cornerstone companies around the world, and especially some of our great New Jersey companies, is really a privilege. And, they've been here for over 130 years and significant history in the state, and they're doing great things. So happy to be running and leading a team that's out there promoting such tremendous work.
So we know you're not at a desk all day. What does a day look like for you? You said today on your way you were already taking calls.
I was in the mobile office.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, the mobile office. So, taking calls on the road. So a typical day is meeting with different policymakers, both local, federal, state, and our congressional delegation, meeting with different stakeholders, including the business community, including our patient advocacy groups, and coming down to Rowan to talk a little bit about the wonderful work that the pharmaceutical and med tech companies are doing around the state, and going to engage with some of our gubernatorial candidates later on today. So, again, just crisscrossing the state.
Too many people have your number.
Yeah. Also, this is why she knows her geography money. So well. She's everywhere.
Yeah, raising some money. So things like that. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. Enjoy working with some of the other not-for-profits that, I've had the privilege of working with, and or Rowan, and working with like RIPAC and, different things like that.
Talk to us a little bit about your involvement with RIPAC.
So I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. Dworkin throughout my career, and thrilled that he's here at Rowan. And when I was on the Alumni Association here at the university, at the time, Bill Moen and I, who's now an assemblyman, Rowan alum, so happy for him.
We're happy for him, too.
Yes.
We've been trying to get him on, too. I know he's got to be careful when he can come on. He can only come on at certain points.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Those election rules.
Yeah.
We had hosted, prior to him being an assemblyman, but some events in Trenton to try to get some of our Rowan alums together. And we were really excited about the opportunity to see how many Rowan alums were working in our state capital. And the number was starting to grow. And once we actually identified who they were, we were surprised. I know I was surprised. And that number has only, like I said, continued to increase. And now with RIPAC, with a concerted effort at Rowan to encourage students to get into government and civic organizations, is just tremendous. And so Dr. Dworkin has done a fabulous job of really guiding students and introducing them to this field, which, for students who don't come from families that have a government or
Sure.
political background, you're not really sure how to get your foot in the door.
Like you.
Yes. So through RIPAC, you host this big internship seminar where you have well over 150 students come onto campus, and you bring on leaders throughout the state government to come talk about their experiences in this field. And I mean, really, really great speakers to talk to the interns at all different corporations and nonprofits. And what a great experience for these students to have that one-on-one interaction. And in fact, they stay in touch, which is so exciting. and to see them actually progress into full-time careers is really exciting as well.
And the interest is, I set up on the back end, I set up the registration for Dr. Dorkin's events, and the interest in that intern summit is crazy.
Yes. I was really thrilled to be invited last year. Thank you, Dr. Dorkin, for inviting me to speak. I was very, very honored. And it was exciting to see such a packed room and so many students who are interested. And as now with the gala coming up in a little over a month, we're working to raise awareness, to raise funds so that these students can pursue these internships and to help support them financially. So it's only going to continue to grow the student experience into gaining these internships, fellowships, experiential learning opportunities in the halls of our state capitol, in the halls of Congress, in these nonprofit organizations that all impact public policy. And so, and that's the whole dynamic around public policy. It's all the diverse interests and opinions coming together. And we need more of that. And you need to have smart individuals who really care about their issues coming to the table and having a meaningful dialogue about the issues that they care about.
And that's right in line, too, with what President Hushman wants with the practical application, right? So he wants to give these students, get out of the books, right? Let's get out there, do the practical, really see, feel, touch the career that you want.
Yes.
That's out there. So it's great that opportunity exists for the RIPAC students.
Yes, exactly. And so I know just some of the students that I was sitting at the table with, I mean, they were at HINJ, they doing external relations, and they were at like a state senator's office. And so really getting their hands dirty, and learning firsthand how the process works and what a day in the life of a government affairs external relations person looks like. So I think that's great.
With the current political climate, how do you see that impacting current students or young people and their desire or maybe their apathy in pursuing a career in politics? Do you see any kind of correlation that you can kind of track, and what does that look like?
I think it's a little early maybe with the just on the heels of the presidential, but I hope that it doesn't deter anybody, or I just hope that people continue to find this field to be really exciting and one of meaningful impact, because what you don't want is for folks to just like wave up their hands and say, can't make a difference, don't care, don't want to throw my hat in the ring because of whatever reason. And I do fear that it's gotten to run for office it could be very challenging, right? You are very out front.
Even local stuff,
yes,
like
you're
school
on
board
social
elections.
Media,
and
so you have to be able to withstand that, and I think will make you a stronger person, don't get me wrong, but you have to know all that going in at this point in time. So, but I hope it doesn't detract anybody. That I do hope.
I hope it could inspire some
Yes.
folks too to get in there and make a difference.
Now you're also active in other nonprofits, including the Girl Scouts, right?
Yes, I was, but now I've been really focused on Rowan, been focused on junior achievement.
Talk to us about that. We went to that dinner that night. That was an amazing night. Talk to us about what that organization is and what it represents.
Yeah, so again, they're focused on really giving, again, students some experiential learning opportunities and growing some of their mission and reach as well, not just for high school students, but even going into some post-secondary and focusing on financial literacy. They're expanding that scope as well, but they're in the schools trying to provide the students what that experiential learning opportunity would look like in different fields. So it could be banking, it could be in engineering, it could be in the pharmaceutical industry, and matching up what that financial literacy aspect would look like. And if you haven't done it yet, I'd encourage you to go to their headquarters, which is in Edison in the Raritan Center. They have a whole park essentially in their headquarters that has different companies structured internally so that the students can interact like with a bank, with an engineering firm, with a utility, with a pharmaceutical company right there, as if they're getting that real world experience. So those students are absolutely phenomenal and going on to really great things.
Now let's flash back to your Rowan days real fast.
Oh,
here.
boy.
Favorite class, favorite memory,
Favorite professor.
favorite professor.
Guys, this is what the scary part is. So I graduated now over 20 years ago.
Oh, please. You're preaching to the choir.
Rob's older
And
than
they,
you.
I'm way
the
older.
Rowan team calls me and they're like, would you like to give a quote or something? It's been like 20 years. And I'm like, what? Like, you should have the right phone number. Oh boy, when that happened. I do remember like Dr. Caswell, Dr. Line. I remember Dr. Douglas, very passionate professors. So they were always really great. Spent a lot of time with the students. I know a lot of times students coming out of high school are looking for that more one-on-one interaction with their professors. I always found that here at Rowan. So I was definitely somebody who came in to meet with their professors and got that one-on-one experience. So that was really helpful. I also found coming here that I felt like the world opened up a lot, where I was able to learn a lot of new things and be exposed to things I wasn't necessarily exposed to in high school. So I thought that was really exciting as well.
From like a club perspective or just
clubs, but just even like what I could do, life, and like, wow, I could do that and this and this and that. Like I didn't think that was in the cards for me until I came here. So I think that was really an exciting opportunity.
Like you don't really know what jobs, when you come in as a student,
Yeah.
you don't really know what you can do.
Yeah.
You have a very limited view of what jobs are available and how you can make your interests and how you could apply them. It's really great to come to college and be like, oh, I like this, and the people in this career field do that. I think that's such a neat thing about college, is the exposure just to different people and the different job opportunities.
But you can also switch, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can. Yeah, you might not get it right the first time.
Yeah.
and I also think, I'm not sure what favorite class I had necessarily, but like I said, I remember I had a lot of great professors. A favorite experience, I'd have to say, was my time playing field hockey. Was definitely at the top of the list. I'd be remiss if I mean,
you've won some awards for your field hockey participation. Why don't you humble brag for a minute? Do you remember them?
Well, again, a huge shout out to my field hockey friends and colleagues. I had tremendous teammates there, so we spent a lot of time together.
I'm sure.
Traveling the Northeast, and to our coach Penny Kempf and to Mary Marino, who again were just tremendous. And we won a national championship my junior year here. And I know that was certainly something we'll never forget. And just came across my ring the other day, so that was exciting. And again, we'll never forget that opportunity that we had to share that experience together. And still remember coming in, down the highway and everything with the lights on and everything. It was really, really a special occasion, and the team worked really hard to achieve that. And so proud to have shared that with just great teammates. So
she also won the Shirley O'Day Female Scholar Athlete Medallion Award, the Dr. Mary A. Rice Scholar Athlete Award, and a Dean's Tea Recognition Award. And you're a 3-time academic All-American.
Pretty big deal.
I mean,
and then she came back.
Did you forget all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really special. Like I said, like I never knew I would be able to do that until like I got here. So it was really exciting. Again, thanks to everybody who helped pave the way and everything.
But you're paving the way for others being on the alumni board for a while, right?
Yep. You're on the alumni board. Yep. Were you 4 under 40? Was that your 4? Yes, we actually have something here for you so many years later to provide to you.
Full presentations behind you.
Presentation.
My God.
And so, Chrissy, what are you doing? You have a heavy, jam-packed career. What are you doing when you're not in the mobile office to kind of unwind, guilty pleasures?
Oh, boy. I enjoy watching some of the, latest series or something on TV. Enjoy helping out and mentoring other people in the field, and just giving back to some of the not-for-profits. As I said, I actually really do enjoy that and spend some time doing that. I'm volunteering for other organizations and trying to raise money for them. So that's really what I enjoy doing. Working out, trying to stay in shape. Don't put me on a field hockey field now. I will definitely hurt myself. I was never interested in playing like on a Saturday league. I'm like, oh my God, we train 6-7 days a week to be able to move like that. There's no way I'm going to be able to move like that just on a Saturday.
Especially after all your time in the car.
Yeah,
right?
not happening. Not
stiff,
happening. So yeah, try to stay in shape. And I always tell students too, I'm like, don't forget about that. That stuff's really important.
Yeah.
Nobody tells you like when you're going through school and starting your career, that's one of the things that just kind of falls
Goes away.
off.
Yes, yeah, it goes away.
And I was like, that's really important because you're not going to be able to do all the things that you're going to want to do if you're not feeling good. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Otherwise, everything else is just going to be so much harder to do.
Yeah.
So.
And you're still staying in touch with your old teammates and such?
Some of the teammates, I still like try to stay in touch with Penny every now and then as well. So hi Penny. It's like again, I'm just so thrilled for the program here. The athletic program at Rowan is fantastic. I had the pleasure of listening to some of your past guests as well, and just huge shout out to them and the accomplishments that they've been able to achieve. I was like, wow, really awesome stuff that our fellow alum have gone on to do. So
We're always very impressed.
Yeah.
I was super impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It's we always say it's like humbling to sit in these chairs and see all the great things our alumni are doing, because it's also like, wow, you're really amazing.
And it's like, wow, what are we doing?
You know, we're just sitting on these microphones talking to people. What?
And they pay us for this.
Well, kind of. We have real jobs too.
No, they really are. I encourage your other alums or students to listen to the alumni and what careers they've gone on to or nonprofits they're helping out, because it really is really insightful.
Any parting words for young girls trying to pursue politics?
Take the risk. I always say embrace the uncomfortable. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you're probably in a place where you're learning and expanding. So get outside your comfort zone and take that risk, especially do it while you're, younger. And don't be nervous. You're supposed to feel nervous. So I hope and happy to help anybody who needs a little bit of guidance. I'm always there. So
where can people find you? Like if
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh God, it's an open book.
She's like on 322 on the turnpike.
That's why I said too many people have your number. I don't know if we want to give out your contact
it's
info
all
right now.
on the websites. I don't know, the HINJ website, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find all my contact information. So don't hesitate to reach out.
Rob is leaving us now. He is going to get pancakes with Chrissy.
Yeah. Why? We're have some fun now. We did the interview. Now we can really relax.
I wasn't invited.
You know
for
what I'm saying?
pancakes, but I would have gotten an omelet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what she's gonna have for breakfast, and does what someone selects for breakfast tell a story about them?
We're going to find out.
Okay, can't wait to hear this.
I'll let you know what she eats. But no, she was great, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's really an impressive human. She's been around, but she's here all of the time doing amazing things, really involved in RIPAC and advancing higher ed. So we're lucky to have her as a representative of Rowan, kind of out in the world and being an advocate and a lobbyist and all these amazing things that she's doing.
And I thought she gave a lot of great advice for students who are listening to, hey, just go out, try it, figure it out, right? Do the internship. She was not telling you to be aggressive, but she was telling you to be a little bit more proactive, assertive, and not so much of a wallflower, and test out what you don't know, right? There's a lot when you're a young person that you think you might know everything. Go find something that you like, but also find the stuff that, I thought it was going to look like this. It might not be for me.
Absolutely. And don't hesitate to reach out to her. I think it's a great point when students are told, hey, I can be here for you. I can mentor you. And she's really open to it. So if you do find her, let her know that you're listening to the podcast and maybe you were inspired by her story, and reach out to her, because I think she has a lot to teach our young folks.
You've been listening to Beyond the Brown and Gold on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. You can find more episodes on your favorite podcasting platforms by searching for Beyond the Brown and Gold or Rowan Radio On Demand.